Hubert Lee, it is a fine Wednesday, August 14th in the afternoon. How are you, brother?
I'm doing okay. I am totally in the summer spirits originally. What kind of shoes do frogs wear, especially in the summertime?
I have no idea.
Open-toed.
Oh, God. That's pretty bad, bro. Okay. All right. I save those suckers from my swimming pool almost daily. They
Oh,
jump in. I don't know why they jump in. Then they realize it's a saltwater pool and they hang out there until I save them.
oh boy.
Anyway, awesome. I'm excited. We got some very cool stuff going on today. Very cool stuff. And some new things to share. And also, I wanted to say, maybe we can kick off with this, how really important for all of us to never forget that AI is a tool. It's just a tool. Now, if you have I remember the old adage of, what would you do if you had to cut down a tree and you had, 10 hours to do so? You spend 9 hours sharpening your axe, right? So that you could then chop down the tree kind of thing. And it's like that with AI. We 100% want to spend a lot of time sharpening the axe, practicing, etc. But we can never lose sight of the fact that it's still just a tool. And as such, it's not necessarily always going to give you what you want, right? So I wanted to give an example of this because the other day, one of our great mastermind members, Federico, pinged me, and he'd been given an assignment. Now, it's a very interesting assignment. There is a bank that he works with that is looking to win the Extraordinary Bank of the Year award, the Banky, which is like the Oscars of community banking. And they had to produce a video telling their story. Now, this bank happens to be in Roswell, New Mexico. Many of us may remember that Roswell went through this insane fire a little while back, and it was horrendous. It was like a tremendously bad situation where they couldn't evacuate the animals, and sometimes they had to leave them behind, and they're trying to drive cows down the road because the fire is coming, and it burned everything to the ground and all this stuff. And the bank was there to help the community rebuild and all that. So there's a great story here, Hubert, of the hero's journey, right? A redemption situation. When you needed it, we were there, etc. So Federico went to AI and came up with something, and not sure if Fede is on with us today or not. He sometimes is. I don't see him yet. A lot of people here. Welcome to everybody. It's great to see you from all around the world. Anyway, he came to me with this script from AI, and it was rock solid. It was good, but it wasn't great. And what was missing, Hubert, was the context, the ability to understand we're telling a hero's journey. We really got to hit the low point, the pivot, the intensity, the drama. How can we show that in a visual depiction? It just wasn't there. So I want to share the original, and I want to talk about it a little bit. And then I spent a good chunk of time, probably 2 to 3 hours with Federico, multiple passes going back and forth. And I want to show you the output at the end and where the differences are that while subtle, are going to make the difference between a good video and a great video. And that
Awesome.
AI could not take it to that great level, which is why, for everybody listening, we're going to again demo our new tool that will be available with our new Mind Types Mastermind offering in just a couple weeks, maybe even sooner. That is really amazing. And that's going to get you a long way down the track. You're an instant expert, but does it take you all the way to where you need to go? No. So,
Well, that's a great setup for this case study. I'm looking forward to it. What would you say from, in terms of percentage, from 0 to 100, how far was the first draft from Federico from AI? 80% of the way, 50% of the
yeah,
way?
for sure. 80% plus. But remember, the stakes are high. These guys are trying to win the Oscar of the community banking industry, which, by the way, has an automatic return on investment. It automatically gives them such prestige and reputation that they instantly get, over the next quarter, 6 months, a whole bunch of new business. So the stakes are high. And I would submit to everybody on the call, the stakes are always high for any of us that are running our own business, that are trying to create something new or whatever. If you care deeply, and I assume that you do, or you wouldn't be here, then the stakes are always going to be high, and we can't rely on the tool alone. We have to also remember that's why this mastermind exists. Use the tools we give you, get to a baseline, and then bring your work here to the mastermind so that we can take it up a few notches, which is exactly what Federico did. He did the best he could, used our tools, did what he was supposed to, and then brought it to me. And I said, let me help you with this because this is pretty interesting. And so let me share my screen and we're going to go through it. And by the way, I did not know that this was available because we've done all of the work on the piece, and I wanted to go back and see the original version. I didn't realize you can easily do that. There's a thing under File in Google Docs that says Version History, and you can go back all the way to the original. So this is the original version that, not all of it, but a big chunk of it, that Federico wrote in ChatGPT for Omni, right? So the latest, greatest version. Here are the characters they're talking about. That it breaks it down into segments: the before segment, the struggle within; the pivot, a turning point; the transformation, the hero's journey; the hero's victory; and then finally the close, right? And so you can see that the structure is all there, Hubert. I mean, this is, right, the struggle, the pivot, the transformation, the victory. Everything is there from a structural standpoint. If you follow Donald Miller's stuff, or if you follow any kind of copywriting format, you can see that the pieces are all there. And they had some pretty good copy. It started out with, hey, there was, sorry, go ahead.
The approach that Federico took to generate this, do you have any insight as to the prompt that he used? I mean, did he refer to a framework in the prompt that generated this?
No, he just used our prompt creator.
Ah, okay.
And so he got a lot of really good stuff. They have an inner struggle. We were successful on the surface, but the foundation was crumbling. We were a bank, but we weren't a team. I say, watch it, but no one was willing to step up until we hit rock bottom. Okay, they're hitting the bottom. There's the problem. What's the pivot? It was time to make a choice. Either we change or we fall apart. Becoming an ESOP was our way forward. Here's problem number one. If you know anything about ESOPs, which is an employee stock ownership plan, it's a way of creating a retirement program for employees who want to buy basically the stock of the bank, and they earn shares as they continue staying with the bank. So here's problem number one. Problem number one is, that sounds good, but what is one of the top requirements of using an ESOP? You have to have great management. The bank has to be well run. And they're already setting us up with, this is poorly run. We weren't a team. You could feel the tension, etc. So this is not something that AI detected, that there needed to be a nexus between creating an ESOP as a reason to save the bank, right? There was no drawing that parallel. So anybody watching this particular version, if they knew anything about ESOPs, would immediately have a disconnect in their mind. They would say, wait a second, a poorly run bank can't have an ESOP. That's ridiculous. A much greater smoothing out of this transition was needed. So that was problem number one. Then they go into the transformation. The change wasn't overnight, but it happened. It was real. We're all in this together, and it showed. I never felt so connected to my work, etc. And then they said the hero's victory. And then the fire, when the fire hit, so now they're talking about the Roswell fire, there was no hesitation. We knew we had the strength to help to be there. What this bank has done for our town is beyond words. They stepped up, and others stepped back. There's no power to this. There's no punch. There's no like, wait, where's the thing that says, and then the atomic bomb and Armageddon hit Roswell, New Mexico, and the people to rise from the ashes and fight side by side. There's not enough juice here. When I read this, I was like, no, man, this isn't good enough. They're missing a major transition here in terms of the ESOP. B, there's no muscle behind the crisis. It's not big enough, which means, of course, that the outcome is not going to carry the punch. And lastly, there's no numerical proof of what's going on. There's no like, okay, how good is this bank, right? So now we're going to go back to where we took it to. From infighting to ESOP, united, we stood with our community. We laid out the characters a little bit better, etc. Then we talk about the problem. I remember the meetings, people were mean, dismissive, like everyone was out for themselves. I stayed quiet watching, knowing something had to change, but no one was willing to step up until we hit rock bottom. Okay, now we transition the concept of the ESOP much more smoothly. I knew it was time to make a choice. Either we change or we fall apart. That's when I knew we had to give everyone a stake in this, a real reason to care. The idea of an ESOP that turned every team member into a stakeholder was born. Ooh, they got a light bulb. Let's see what happens. Vice President says, when Cody brought up the idea of an ESOP, it seemed like a stretch goal, yet came like a light in the dark. It wasn't about money anymore. It was going to give everybody a voice. Then we have the board member who's a disbeliever. I was skeptical. I didn't believe people would care. I was wrong. When I saw the change in the people, I knew we made the right decision. And then we transition it a little smoother. The change didn't take a hold overnight, but it was real. People started working together, etc. In other words, they had to massage this whole thing. They couldn't just pop this in, which is what AI will do. AI will be very boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. There's no subtlety in that. And if you're not thinking about what you're really trying to communicate, it's not going to land the way it needs to get you the kind of result that you want. So then I called it the crisis. Then the fire hit. Need way more drama in this section. The fire exploded. Entire neighborhoods burned to the grounds. Towns evacuated. Animals in tow. Often with no known destination. It turned into a veritable Armageddon. So now we want to see this. We want to see the town burning. We want to see the animals running from the fire. We want to see the carcass of a dead cow burned to a crisp. I may be exaggerating a little bit, but not really. We want to see that drama in a huge way. And then now the hero's victory. When the fire hit, we knew we had this, we never hesitated. We knew we had the strength to help to be there for the community in a way we never could have before. As in, we could not have done that had we not made the transition. And as part of the hero's journey, this is just the crisis. The hero's journey was already made. Now, when a crisis hit, it really hits, right? Need action shots, the burning, the church, bank members helping, super intense. I lost everything in the fire, but I didn't lose hope. The bank was there helping us rebuild, da-da-da. Then we need a change in mood to future casting of hope, right? That AI couldn't pick up either. What this bank has done for our town from the mayor is beyond words. They stepped up when others stepped back. They've become a pillar of strength. I couldn't be more proud of our team. Everyone stepped up. Notice what he said. He didn't say we're an awesome bank or I'm proud of my bank. He said, I'm proud of the people, not the bank, which is what AI had said, the bank. No, it's about the people. These are tiny little subtleties that make all the difference. So then, of course, what we found out is by doing the right things, create the result beyond what we ever dreamed possible. I'm humbled by the results, and I know it's because of our team, not the bank. And then it says, this isn't the story about our bank. It's about people, resilience, and the power of coming together. We face the fires, and then we put in a limbic message. We believe in the numbers, shows what the numbers are and why they're really, really impressive, etc. And then it closes out with together, we're unstoppable. because that's when the team that when the community needed us most showed up in force. So Hubert, I don't know if you can comment on that, but it's the subtleties and the context and the drama that AI could not give us.
No, I think I'm of two minds here. One, fabulous, fabulous job you did with that originally. And not only can AI not have these master level tweaks that you provided, but then most people actually wouldn't either. So are you saying that as the business owner, you would understand the nuances enough that you could do it? Or do you need to somehow train up yourself or work with a copywriter or somebody to kind of get that master level of storytelling? Because I mean, originally, you're now guy off the street. I mean, you've written 17 books or whatever. I mean, like storytelling is like your craft. So people out in the audience might be saying, well, yeah, Ridgely can do it because he's Ridgely.
No, so I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think that, yes, it's true. This is what I do. 20 books, by the way. And, and also that's why people can bring their content to the mastermind, right? Because you can bring that to us and we can help you take a look at it. But do I also think that it's part of the responsibility of every one of us, every business owner, to also pay very close attention to the output of AI and check in with yourself? Does this resonate with me? Does this feel right? Am I getting all that I need from this? 100% I do. I think you have to do that. You can't rely on the tool to do all of the work. You have to put in the time to put in the special sauce that is Hubert, the special sauce that is Bob or Donna or anybody, right? So to do that, you've got to do that work too. And nobody's going to know your business better than you. Also, nobody's going to know, and this is the part that's a little tricky, but no one's going to know the subtleties that you know about your business. Like, for example, I know how to talk to dentists. Why? Because we serve a lot of dentists and have been serving dentists for years and years and years. I know what they want. I know what they don't want. I know how to write to the dentists. I'm not telling AI to write a letter to the dentist because AI is going to be way too matter of fact. I know how to write to a dentist to give them enough information to let them know that they are in great hands when they work with us and that they don't have to worry about anything, but not so much information that their eyes glaze over because of the details of what is the change in SEO as a result of search engines and AI and answer engines, right? Like that's a big thing that in SEO right now, the difference between a search engine and answer engine is a really big deal. They don't want the details. They want to know that they're in good hands, that they can be comfortable, that they're not going to lose any rankings. So I, as the business owner, know what those people want. I've got to make sure that that's inside the copy that AI gives me that is largely factually based. If that makes sense. Love to hear any comments. I've not been paying attention to the chat at all. I know that was a kind of a deep dive into where you have to pay attention when you're using AI tools, especially given the ones that we're about to unload on everybody. And I'm about to show an example of this because it's super crazy.
Yeah, that's true. My other thought too is because you had the ability to apply your years of experience in writing to the scenario, you took the route that you took. For those of us that don't have that depth of experience to draw on, like I would have gone into exploring, doing my own research, maybe through perplexity.ai, and finding, these story structures to apply to video scripts, and then continuing the AI discussion and saying, please give me an addition, a version of this that would make the following points, and then name what you want in terms of like the story. And then you keep going back and forth, make it more compelling, beef up this section, meaning have that dialogue back and forth with AI to see if it improves as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you can do that. I guess what I'm really trying to just drive home is the concept that you can't be lazy about this. You really have to pay attention and make it your own. You know, that's all. I don't need to overstate this.
1000%. And actually, the analog that comes to my mind is too, people say, oh, a business owner shouldn't be personally creating their own website. Well, you know what? Originally, you and I know that the best websites are the ones that turn on that little something that was provided by the business owner, because only the business owner knows that most of his business comes from people that are, looking for exactly this little thing that, no copywriter or web designer just off the street would ever come upon in 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So did this very purposefully, team, as a backdrop to what we're in the process of putting the final tweaks on so that we can make it available to all of you. That is kind of the most ridiculous thing we've ever done and what I've ever seen. And as we've been talking about, if you've been around for a while, and I see some of our dear friends that have been around for a long time, and Bill and Bridget, Dorina, Jackie's here. I'm looking down the list. I see a lot of old friends, Paul, Scott, Wendy, a lot of people have been around a long time, as well as a bunch of newer people. You've heard us say this over and over. It's getting faster and faster and better, and it's going to continue to do that. And we'd like to just demo exactly what we're talking about here. So I'm going to hop into our new tool, which is called PAF Offers. As mentioned, we're still tweaking some details on this. We'll get it to you as soon as we launch our new platform, which is going to be mind-bogglingly ridiculous. I know I have seen all kinds of new softwares being bolted on and all kinds of new stuff, but the mad scientist Hubert Lee will not let anybody see the final thing until he's ready, which I keep hoping is going to be in the next couple of days. We're not going to put him on the spot and ask him, but maybe we will. But
Originally, inadvertently gave me a heart attack a couple hours ago, because I was working late into the night and I wasn't happy with where we are. So I called the web hosting company and had them help me and just zero everything out so I can start from scratch, right? And so I did that. And then this morning, Richly sent me a text saying, hey, such and such is not working. And I was like, and here's where it had nothing to do, what Richly reported was not working, it had nothing to do with what I was working on. But because just hours ago, I had a team zero everything out, I figured, oh my God, I must have broken something. So I sent that call Richly right away. And I said, what's broken? What's broken? But that was just me being in a panic because I was trying to build this new system.
Donna Griggs, do me a favor, if you're hearing me right now, pop into the chat the 5 words that describe the program that you're in the process of developing right now. Just 4 or 5 words there, because I want to do something kind of ridiculous. If you're up for it, just give me 5 words in the chat that say it's about this kind of a thing, or whatever, and I will in turn pass back to you some kind of crazy content. So do that, Donna. If you can hear me, pop that in the chat. If not, I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. Okay, I'll give you 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then there we go. Simple change system. Okay. Communication plan for a simple change system. There we go. Communication plan for simple change system. All right. So watch this. Enter the details about the product you want to create an offer for. It is a comprehensive course to create ideal communication for a simple change system targeted at businesses. Okay, great. There it is. That's the product we're going to create an offer for. And again, I want to point out, so I'm simply going to click submit, and it is going to begin to go to work to give us a complete baseline of everything you need that you can think of to create this product, the offer for this particular product. And There you go. The change communication blueprint. What's going to be included? A communication guide, customizable email templates for change announcements, interactive workshop slides for team engagement, video tutorials, change impact analysis, feedback, weekly check-ins, communication style assessment tool, etc., etc. Now watch this. Auto-generate complete offer. Okay, let me read it. This offer, the Change Communication Blueprint, is a strong candidate for a low-ticket product. I'm going to show you how we can change that. It addresses a critical need for effective communication during transitions, challenge many businesses face. The resources are included are practical, easy to create, offering immediate value. The variety of tools and templates cater to different learning preferences, making it a versatile choice. Given the growing importance of change management and organization, this package is well-timed and likely to attract interest from businesses seeking to improve their change communication strategy. Okay, great. Then give me the whole thing. I want all of it. Now, I'm going to let the tool go to work creating it, because what it's going to do is it's going to give me, in literally a matter of minutes, an offer idea, content for the offer, hooks for the offer, sales page headlines, an offer description, an email sequence to kick off the offer, a video script, lead magnet ideas, bonus builders, high ticket upsells, which is, by the way, really a key idea, right? You come in with a low cost offer, somebody buys it, you show them some value, they are immediately primed to go to the next level with you with the higher ticket upsells. Launch ideas, a webinar outline, a plan for the launch, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Facebook retargeting ads, the pricing strategy for the product, refund reduction techniques, really important because you want to keep your refunds low, a market analysis, and a full-blown report card. You can see that the tool is already going through this process in real time, and we will circle back. Hubert, you want to give us a little bit of while I let this run in the background for just a second or two, you want to give us a little background on how in the hell you created this thing?
Yeah, so we partnered with the company that we've been working with for a while, and that they're just exactly thinking of AI the way we're thinking of it, meaning it's a fabulous tool. But in recognition of what Richard was saying earlier, it's a tool to give you a rock solid start to let you tweak and then bring to our mastermind for the Limbic messaging final polish of it. Okay, so the reason why I asked on a scale of 0 to 100, where does this get you? You know, I asked Richard earlier, he said that his video script was an 80. Well, with this comprehensive tool, we're trying to bring that level of completeness up into the 90s, right? And so you guys will be the judge of how good some of this output is. Now, this output is solid, and it's based on all the marketing principles that we've coded into the queries and everything else. But what it doesn't have is that level of limbic messaging, right? That's that final tweaking that what this mastermind is all about. So behind the scenes, though, it's taking all of the manual things that you would normally do yourself in AI, meaning selecting the latest, version of 4.0 ChatGPT, coming up with all the prompts that produce all of those necessary outputs, but then chaining them all together so that they run sequentially. And we're definitely favoring the push a button, one and done approach, because as Ridgely is always fond of saying, done is better than perfect. And the point of this whole thing is using the mastermind to elevate from where you are to where you want to be. And the where you are, by pushing one button, has substantially increased and leapt up.
Hello, Donna. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're muted. Hi there.
So
this is amazing. Amazing.
I know, right?
Ready for it now.
So Donna just joined us very recently. She's working on some incredible stuff, has been in simple change, working in corporations for years and years and years, gigantic corporations, right? So really, really powerful stuff. And this new tool, what it does is it gets you the foundation of everything you need, from which you then can work on it. And I want to share with everybody how ridiculous this is. Okay, so far we're all the way down to, we're in YouTube ads now. And and it will just keep going. It needs a few more minutes to get the whole thing done. Then each one of these segments, once we save this, which I will save this for you, Donna, every single one of these segments can be written as a one-off. So you can say, oh, you know what? I love the offer hooks, but I want to tweak that. So let me tweak the offer hooks. Let me tweak this. Let me tweak this other thing and regenerate. And boom, the tool, because it sits, and this one thing Hubert didn't mention, this tool sits on top of OpenAI. So it's the same engine that is powering ChatGPT, Bard, et cetera. The OpenAI engine, our tools are sitting right on top of that. So with every improvement that happens in the AI world, our tool automatically improves. Right now, you can see this is the pricing strategy. It's giving you a couple of different options. In a minute, it's going to show us everything. And now this is refund reduction. How do you go through responses for potential refunds? And we're down to 2 left, and then I'll show you the whole thing. Making sure that we always do one minor detail that is critical once you get the response, once you get the entire thing done. We're down into our market analysis, market size and growth, target audience, competitive analysis, market trends, regulation and compliance, customer behavior, pricing monetization, distribution channels, SWOT analysis, market entry barriers. Donna's sitting there going, what the hell is this? I mean, yeah, no, this is the coolest thing we've ever done. So here's the first thing you must do. Save the offer. So we're going to say simple change course. Donna. There we go. Save. That's the first thing we want to do, is save it. Now it's saved right there. Let's take a look at the whole thing. And here we go. The change communication blueprint. You can jump to any one of these pieces. All of it is included, the guide, the templates, etc. So now down here, I can rewrite, I can copy, I can download, I can convert this into a PDF. I can regenerate it if I don't like it, but then every single thing is there. What's the content? Here it is, the guide, the templates, the workshop, tutorials, etc. From there, from the content, you go to what are the hooks? Unlock the secret to seamless business transition. Transform your change management with our expert tools. Say goodbye to communication breakdowns during change. Master change, etc. Every one of them. Sales page headlines. Here they are. Worried about transitions with our change communication in just 14 days. Yada, yada, yada. Boost employment. Look at this. Super all kinds of options to play with. And this is the part where, again, you can rewrite it, you can save it, you can copy it, you can download it, you can play with it. You can then download this or grab this and take it into OpenAI, into ChatGPT, work the prompts that we've done, our limbic messaging, all of that stuff. Here's an offer description, as in what's it about, who's it for, why they need it, the outcome. Here's an email sequence, entire body, subject options, email 2, email 3. Here's a video script for you. What's the promise, the intro, the benefits, offers, scarcity, etc. Voiceover script, all written for you. Lead magnet ideas, bonus builders. What are some of the bonuses you can have? High ticket upsells. What's a price? Premium change management, advanced change management, etc. You can regenerate this. You can say rewrite this to add a 0 to each of those. You can do whatever you want. Launch ideas, webinar outline, as in every single slide. The shocking truth about change resistance. Why most change efforts failed. Meet your host. Achievements, testimonials, agenda, secret one, problem, etc. Just the whole thing, laying out a webinar for you. And my favorite being an old school launch guy, a complete launch plan, pre-launch, actual launch, post-launch, what you need to do to be successful. And then, of course, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, retargeting ads, a pricing strategy, why, how, the refund reduction, market analysis, and even a report card on the product itself, which means you could take the report card and go into AI and figure out how to improve the report card, how to improve the offer, and so on. Donna, your thoughts?
Hubert, by tomorrow, will this be ready? Or is it going to be by the end of the week? Which one? I don't want to rush you, but I'm just curious. So I'm not going to stress you, trust me. I'm doing 2 keynotes in October, and I've told both of them I want a booth for free too, and I want it in a very visible location so I can give people free advice. So they're all excited about that, right? So if I had this tool, I could then go in and say, here are the kinds of things that I would want to make for that booth, for that specific keynote. I always give away stuff during a keynote. So any of that kind of stuff, this tool, narrowing it way down, will help. Oh, you guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you. Friday, Hubert, Friday.
I folks, that she's doing the presumptive close on me, and I love it. I love it.
Well, you'll have all weekend if we say Monday, right?
She's good, Hubie. You got to watch out for this Donna girl.
The best.
All right, Donna, thanks for joining us. I know you got a gym.
Early because I have a client scheduled meeting. So it was so good to see. I can't wait to watch the rest of the recording. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ciao for now.
I love it. That was awesome.
Right? All right. We got all kinds of comments going in. Anything I need to pay attention to? You're in charge of comments, right?
Yes, yes. And actually, here, let me share my screen for a second and just kind of explain this whole thing, because some of the questions can be answered by me sharing my screen and explaining what's what. Okay, so we have various tools. Okay, so if we look at the, okay, let me just kind of see. Okay, so we have one. Well, actually, let me start from, I guess, sequentially. Okay, so in the new world, the offers, Ridgely, would you say that the offers thing, which is what you just demonstrated, would that be like the first tool to start with, you think?
I think so, because it enables you, it gives you a baseline that is insane, like a crazy.
And it gives you the ability to brainstorm the next phase of your business.
Right, exactly right. And then you can go to the other tools for specific needs, including the ability on PAF Brain to take text that you get from the offer, yes, pop it into the text functionality of PAF Brain, and have the PAF Brain get you the next rounds of limbic messaging, etc. So you're now really capitalizing on the tools.
Right. So just as a, for instance, the one called PAF Copy, you can actually go in here and use various known formats and styles. Like if you want sales copy in the style of Frank Kern, you could use this generator. And originally, look, here's a hero's journey framework, one that we built in. So, you know, you can fill this out, take your ideas, and use the copy generator to actually generate a set of copy. And once again, it's not yet limbified. But then we have this guy here, our flagship one, the PAF Brain. And the PAF Brain one, at a click of a button, does a lot towards limbification, right? And look at all of these that are pre-built here. We have the we believe statements, we have the because something matters statements, the you deserve statements. So this guy here, the partner-centric copy, is all about taking your existing material or your earlier drafts and then putting them into the limbic messaging. One of the comments was,
well, show them how you can do the text too. Show them right there real quick, bro, so you can, like right up at the top, enter URL or enter text.
Oh, yeah. So here you can actually take snippets of text from the framework that originally just produced. You can, instead of entering a URL, you can hit enter text. Take that text and literally copy it right into here and have the limbification done right in this tool. One of the comments was, why don't you build like a super tool and put everything in it? Well, in the real world, that would be cool, but I think that would make it too big and clunky. And by rights, many of our members actually run little agencies or on their own, and our tools are kind of built to support them. Here, the reason why you can enter a URL is, let's say you're pitching a client and you meet them. You can say, hey, you know, I've been working with a group that we develop AI tools, and let me just give you an idea of what it might do for you. All you have to do is ask for the person's URL, enter it in, select an example, and then hit boom, and then instantly, it's right there. So we have these set of purpose-built tools to accomplish everything. And then further, when it's time for you to send out email sequences, we have a whole emailing sequence generator. And finally, for the more nuts and bolts aspects of it, we have the images one, which is, a image generation tool that we're constantly working on to really
hop in there for a second. I want to do something. So let's say I'm working with a concept like simple change management communication course. How would I do that? Like I'm not a visual person. I'm not a image graphics person,
right.
But
so
I'm Donna.
Yep. This is how I would do it.
Okay.
Okay. So I would say, so the idea is change, but it's specifically for business, right? So I would work with some of the concepts and start using the tool and start iterating based on what you get, and use the tool to kind of like help you zone in on an idea. So let me just put in the prompt, I'm going to put optimization of change in a business organization. Now, this is very nebulous, right? Now, I'm going to just choose realistic as a style, okay? I'm going, just for kicks, I'll keep it as a square. But right now, I'm going to just do an exact prompt. You can just go through the base idea, but let me just run an exact one and then generate the image and see how kind of close this gives, and then how we would iterate, okay? So
yeah, because I think it's important, Hubie, to really, you are so good at this stuff that you do it almost without thinking about it. But really, we need to help people understand how to think like the tool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see what image it came up with. Okay, I mean,
interesting.
It's interesting. It's
kind of cool.
It's business world. The growth is an upward trend. You're dialing things in with the gears and stuff. So let me now with this tool, if something spurs you or you want to refer to it again, click save image. Originally was working with the other tool. It made the mistake of like not saving right away and then clicking away and you lost everything. You can always regenerate it, but keep in mind that AI is generative, meaning it creates it from scratch every single time. So you get a new thing every single time. So there's no such thing as saying to AI, oh, give me that past one, easily. So the second you see something you want to save, either right click and save the image, or use this thing to save the image and it'll go on your dashboard. Okay, so let me just now flip this to the base idea and let me hit the generate image. Base idea gives you the ability to widen the prompt. Now, what's happening behind the scenes is that we're taking your prompt and creating a better prompt based on your image style and so forth. Now, let's just take a look and see. Okay, so this is the style of, a different style. This is more of an illustration, cartoony type style. And just as many of you out there know, AI is very poor at generating images with text where the spelling is actually correct. It's just like conceptually not there, and so that's why there's lots of misspellings and so forth in that. Okay, so you can decide on your style, and based on this, I'm going to keep more of an exact, and then now here I'm going to say computer system for the optimization of change in a business organization. I'm going to add computer system just to kind of get more of a high-tech look. And so originally, this is how I would do it. I would play with the prompt, keep generating ideas, change the prompt. So now this is, if the idea is that maybe Donna's system is very like framework based, and she offers her clients, an experience where they actually go through a blueprint type of thing. And maybe this would be appropriate, right? And so it really depends. So there's no such thing as clicking one magic button and getting exactly what you want. The idea is that you have to sit here and iterate through it.
Now, how would you, for example, I don't see the illustration of change done all that well on this particular image. So how could I give the instruction to this tool? We really need to emphasize the element of change and growth. because that's really what I think. In other words, helping everybody understand that we're always need to be thinking like the tool. If we're not
So
getting
here,
what we want, not get frustrated, just iterate.
right. So based on what you just said, I added this little phrase here that evokes transformation and growth for the business. And let's see what happens.
Great.
So I'm gonna take out the word computer. Okay. I'm just gonna say system, and then let's see what happens.
And obviously you could, as you're going through this, as you were mentioned, be saving each one of these iterations so that you have something to reference and can look from one to the next one to the next one.
And now, by the way, because this is AI generating it on your behalf, there's no other image like it in the world. You have perfect rights to go and use it however you wish. So this replaces the whole idea of spending hours browsing through existing stock photo sites trying to get something to license, and that's still not exactly right anyway. Okay, so now this one's not bad originally. Look,
yeah, I like this one a lot. This is good.
It's evoking growth through organic versus more gear type thing. This was actually a little compelling. So I'm just gonna hit save image just to demonstrate a point. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna call it business change 001, and then I'm gonna hit save image. And I'm doing that to show you how you can work with this afterwards. Okay, so but yeah, this image is actually pretty cool. Okay, so then let me just go. Okay, so now we're back at the dashboard, and this image here, when you click on it to view it, you can see what the prompt was that you hit. So it saves the prompt. So you can copy it, you can go and try it and elsewhere, you can reuse it. I mean, it's like, it becomes your own little prompt library and idea. Now, I know small businesses typically are on a limited budget and so forth, but I've had larger businesses where the managers that we work with take this as the first step and then bring it to their artists that they have on hire and say, listen, this is what I came up with. Here's the concept. And believe me, it puts your artist way down the road already, instead of having to interview you to get all of that, initial first drafts out of the way. You can actually do it yourself using AI. So that's pretty much the tool set that we have. And as you can see, it's a wealth of things here. I mean, you can get lost, and I do. I get lost for days in this, Ridgely. Thank God I have Ridgely to pull me out.
Now, when we move into this new suite, what are we going to be able to do to make it easier for people? Because one of the concerns that I'm experiencing in talking to people is that the speed of change is so remarkable, and things are just rolling, and people are feeling almost a bit like, oh my God, how am I going to do all this?
Well,
How can we really help them with that? Because I really want to start laying out a blueprint. So if you come into the mastermind and you're new, hey, what do you do first? What do you do second? How can we do that?
That's exactly the value of this mastermind. Okay. I'm not going to say all, but most of us are old enough to know of the time before word processing became a thing. Okay. Suddenly people were getting computers. Suddenly there was word processing, right? There was WordPerfect and out in the legal world and all of this. Back when people used WordPerfect and you started typing, you were concerned about the formatting code. You had to put in like a little code to show that this was bold or whatever. Like you were actually telling it how to make things bold. Okay. Then along came things like Microsoft Office with Word, where you didn't have to like do the nuts and bolts anymore. If you wanted to bold a word, you would highlight the word and then hit the letter B to make it bold. The emphasis became the product, the output, the work product that you're looking to create, instead of like the actual how of it. Originally, when you drive a car, you don't actually care how the gears work. I actually care how the gears work because I'm interested in the clutch mechanics and the transmission and everything else. But for normal people, they can drive a car and not need to know how the car works because they want to go from A to B. AI is in the same boat. If you're new to AI, be grateful, because we're finally letting go about, oh, you want to learn about AI? you have to learn programming and you have to learn neural networks and you have to learn database design and all this stuff that like, no, I own a business. I want to use AI to leverage my marketing. I don't need to know how AI works under the hood. I'm getting long-winded, but the tool set that we're creating is abstracting the services, the benefits that AI can give you away from you, the business person. We'll take care of behind the scenes, making sure it's hitting the latest models, making sure it's got the right prompts. We just need from you, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, give us your expertise, your knowledge, tell us what you want. Our tools will get you 80% of the way there, and our mastermind will take you the rest of the way. That's why we started off with that illustration that I originally had, because the AI can only take you so far. That so far has been incredible in terms of its growth, and it's darn good compared to years ago, but we want to get you to that 100%.
Yeah, and I want to share something. So tomorrow I am speaking to the people who were on the AI Business Summit, and I know some of the people are on this call. A few weeks ago, I was invited back to give a longer presentation on how things work, right? Now, imagine that you're going to do a presentation like that somewhere. You know the content, that of what is going to be heading, that they're going to be talking about and what they want you to focus on. And you could do this ahead of time. I want to show you something. So again, going back here, I took the content that we just created from Donna for her Simple Change course, and I converted it into a PDF. It is now a 50-page document called the Change Communication Blueprint that outlines every single piece of everything that we created for her. The hooks, look at this, the sales page headlines, right? It's freaking amazing. The offer description. I'm only on page 11. The emails, the email sequence, etc. So tomorrow, the host of the webinar that I'm doing is Bob Dietrich, our very good friend who runs the AI Summits. And his business is how to run summits, affiliate summits, to grow your business and sell your products. So I am today, right after this call, going to use our tool, go over here, go into create offer, and I'm going to create a product called the course that teaches people how to use affiliate summits to build your business and sell your products. I'm going to run the entire thing prior to the meeting with Bob tomorrow. I'm then going to demonstrate what we're talking about, and then I will have a document just like this with everything that was done with a single click to operate the business that my colleague, Bob, is in. Imagine that you could do that every single time you're going to meet with a client or a prospect. Any concept of what a leg up that gives you over anybody in the competition when you're able to take this level of depth into a meeting to show them what you can do, what you've already thought of. Hey, Mr. Lee, just want to share, I had a few ideas on how we might be able to launch your product. Do you mind if we run through some of these? And you bust out something like this that even includes webinar slides already all done for you? Are you kidding me? You come across as some kind of psychopath, weirdo, genius dude. And I just want to really point this out. What's available to us because of AI and these tools, and there's the webinar notes, all 34 slides, exactly what they should be, laid out for you, right? Look at this. There's the launch plan, how we're going to launch the product. I don't know whether anybody is feeling the same way I'm feeling, but when I first saw this, that Hubert busted this thing out, I was like, wait, man, this is a complete game changer on so many levels. If you're creating courses, you want to use this. If you're selling things, you want to use this. If you're meeting with clients about their business, you can use this. It even gives you a market analysis. And of course, you can use only the pieces that you want. You don't have to use the other pieces. So the flexibility that this gives you is really, really a ridiculous new tool in a new arrow in your quiver, so to speak. So if anybody has any comments or questions, obviously I know that was enormously like drinking from a fire hose. Sorry about that, but it'll be coming your way very shortly. Monday, right? Isn't that what you agreed to with Don?
Oh, you guys with the presumptive closes. Oh my gosh.
All right, Hubert, as we're wrapping up, what else do you have for us?
All right. Well, you tell us when we're meeting next, and then I'll send us on our way with a little riddle for Ridgely.
Okay, we're actually meeting Monday afternoon. So just a few days from now. Next
I think
Monday,
it's a rare Monday meeting.
a rare Monday meeting, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. We will be meeting for our next mastermind meeting. All right.
Okay, now Ridgely, I know you're all about communication, your whole life, your whole career. So this is a communication dad joke for you. Okay, ready? Ridgely, how did Vikings communicate with each other? How did Vikings communicate with each other?
I have no idea.
By Norse code.
That's actually pretty good. Okay. That is actually pretty good. Question came up in the chat. Do I still need a tool like Kajabi? Yeah, for sure. In order to sell your course, if you have a course on that you need a platform to deliver the course. This is a tool that helps you create all the content around that or the course itself, but something still has to deliver that course to the end user. So yeah, so Scott, it's being improved and tweaked, and it will be available for the new rollout. If you need it in the short term, ping support at Partner Traction Formula and I will hook you up. Okay. Sounds great. Hubert Lee, thank you very much. Awesome as usual. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and we will catch up after this. All good. Ciao for now. Bye, everybody.